Hello and welcome to Shirley Ross's Design Space Friday. Today we're going to make Fringe. I belong to a Facebook group where they do layout challenges, and the challenge was to put Fringe on your layout. And several of the ladies wanted to have a file in Cricut so that they wouldn't have to use those Fringe scissors. Whatever makes it easiest for you. So I created three different versions. One is 12 by 2, one is 6 by 2, and one is 3 by 2. Remember, if you're doing the 12-inch, Cricut will cut a 12-inch piece if you have a mat that's marked at a quarter of an inch down from where you normally put your paper on the mat, and then tell Design Space you're using a 24-inch mat, and it should cut it at 12. The key is just making sure that you mark that quarter of an inch spot on your mat to put the paper. All right, I'm going to slide those out of the way so I can show you how I did it. And I started with a square and a score line. I clicked shapes off. I turned the square, first of all, I changed it to a 3-inch. So since it's still proportional, it went 3 by 3. And then I'm going to change it to white so it's easier to see the lines. And then I'm going to change the score line to a cut line. Real easy. There's the score tool. We're just going to change it to the cut tool. And we are going to make it 2 inches tall versus the 3.11. All right, so now we have all the parts. Now I'm going to place my square at the 1 and 1 inch position on the canvas. That's going to make it much easier to place the score lines exactly where I want. So we're going to start by putting the first one at 1.25. It's 1 1/4 in, and at 2 because it's 2 inches long. And then we're going to duplicate it. So we're going to put this one at 1.5 and 2. And you're just going to keep duplicating these out and moving them over a quarter of an inch until you have the whole piece filled with these little fringe lines. So it's just a matter, I'm hoping, it's sometimes hard for me to work and talk at the same time. Yep, I am like that. 2. I gotta put that one on there at the same place twice, so I will check that. There's 2 here. So we'll move 1 to 2.75 and 2. And just remember, we're just going a quarter of an inch out on each one. And put them all at 2. So duplicate. The last one was at 3 1/4, so 3 1/2 and 2. And duplicate 3.75 and 2. All right, so that should be all of them. And what you would do next is select that all right there and hit attach. And now your score lines or your cut lines are attached to this shape. And then we're going to duplicate that out 2 times so that we can do the 6-inch, and then we'll do the 12-inch. All right, so move these 2 out of the way because we're going to work with those in a minute. Now, on this one, it's 3 by 3, and 3 is kind of long for the fringe, usually. So all I did was unproportionate it and change the height to 2. So now I still have the long fringe, but this is a much better size, I felt. You can leave it the 3 by 3. It's up to you, but that's what I did here. So now we're going to move this one to 1 by 1. And we're going to move this one to, and we're going to put it at 4 by 1. So they're right next to each other. Now, we cannot weld at the moment because we have the cut lines attached. So we need to detach on both of these so that we can just catch the 2 squares. So I'm going to click on one square, hold the shift key, click on the other, and weld. So now I have welded those together. I'm going to move it to the back so that the cut lines will show. I'm going to duplicate a cut line because we need a new cut line to go in that 4 spot. So we're going to make it 4 by 2. And then I'm going to select it all. And I'm going to attach. And I'm going to duplicate it 2 times. And I'm doing it 2 times because I want to keep the first one so I can show you. So I'm going to move this out of the way. The file's beginning to get a little large. So I'm going to select this one. And again, I unproportionated it so that I could do the height versus just the height and not the width. So I made it 2 by 6. So now that's the way I want it. And so I will slide it out of the way. So now we will bring this one and we'll put it at 1 and 1. And again, we're just putting them next to each other. So this one will be at 7 and 1. So they're right next to each other. And again, you would detach. And detach. It's getting a little slow here on my, I'll move this down so we can grab those others. All right, so now we're going to grab that square or rectangle, hold the shift key, get the other. So now I'm just working with the 2 rectangles and I'm going to weld them. And then I'm going to arrange it to the back. I'm going to copy, duplicate just one of those so I can put it at the 7 spot. So we'll put it at 7 and 2. 7 and 2. So now all of the fringe is on there. And we're going to select just that. We don't want to catch anything except that one. And we have attached it. So now we have a 12 by 3. And again, I want to make it a 12 by 2. So I unproportionate and I do 2. How quick and easy was that? It was not hard at all. And so now you have your fringe. So I hope this has helped somebody in coming up with some ideas for things that you might want to create. And I will see you next Friday.